Dr. B. I'm Wendy Baird Packard, and I will be recording my response for you for the communication question that we had for our assignment in session 1. How do I use communication and technology? So I'll talk to you today about the couple of things just from the prompt questions that you provided us, kind of what's my day-to-day communication and technology look like, what are the easiest for me and the hardest for me, and how I would do it differently if I had to do it differently. So kind of the day-to-day use of technology and communication it's constant for me. In my work, I communicate using any type of technology from PowerPoint slides to videos to websites and things like that. But the actual communication part, I don't ever see my boss because I work remotely. I travel for work, and she lives in Washington State. I was in Hawaii, and so I've never actually met her face to face. Everything we do is through technology, usually emails and text, things like that. I file reports on my classroom and how many participants I had, and those reports are all done electronically via email and through a computer system that our company has designed. So it is so imperative for me. Every day is every bit of communication usually has some bit of technology in it for work, and then because I do travel for my home life, I Skype quite a bit. We're texting constantly or using some form of technology there, and that makes it easy and a bit more instant. So the form of technology I use the most is going to be my telephone. Because I am on the move so much, I don't like to carry a laptop. They're a bit cumbersome. And I can do everything that I need to do, send emails, fill my reports, text, check in, and whatever I need to do, video from my telephone. And so that is the form of technology that has all my other communications right inside it. So if I had to do without that, it would not be good. Everything would be much slower, and I couldn't do 4 things at one time, and I definitely wouldn't be able to instant message things to my family members or to my boss or things like that. So it would slow things down considerably if I weren't allowed to have my phone, because I use it so much as a computer. And so that is very important to have. And so what is the easiest and what is the hardest? So the phone, I think, is going to be both. I'm learning how to use it a great deal. The hardest part for me is, now that I travel, is how to connect it and get it to work. How do I get it to the internet? How do I connect to the Wi-Fi? Who has Wi-Fi? Do I need a hotspot? What is a hotspot? And so the same piece of technology that makes my life very easy can be very difficult. I was just in Colorado Springs and needed to navigate somewhere, and the navigational system wouldn't work. Well, I'm so dependent on that I was a little lost. I didn't have a map, and I needed that technology to work, and I couldn't get the Wi-Fi and the connections. And also, I live in Texas, and you can be out in the middle of nowhere and your phone is not available. So even if you were to have an emergency or you needed to send an email, you can't, because there's no connection. So that makes it by far the easiest when it's working and the hardest when it's not working. So that is my review of the question about kind of how I use technology in my communications day to day. I'm going to say I use it probably 80% of the time I'm communicating to people, because when I'm home, I'm communicating to my boss. When I'm working, I'm communicating to my family, and it's always kind of that cycle. So that is definitely that I use communication and technology a great deal. And why it's easy and why it's hard, I've touched on that. And that's my answer for today. Thanks so much, and have a great evening.